What happens when a troubled kid from Brooklyn finds a mentor who changes his life forever? This isn't the story you've heard before. It's the story you need to know. A troubled youth's difficult path. Before turning 13, Mike was arrested again for possession of stolen property. The authorities had no more options left in New York City to place him, so they sent him to the Trion School for Boys, an upstate New York facility for juvenile offenders. His mother was relieved he was upstate, away from the dangers and threats that came knocking at their door from angry men seeking retribution. Imagine a 12-year-old girl being told that grown men were coming to her house, threatening to harm her brother. The fear and desperation must have been overwhelming. This was the harsh reality Mike's family faced. At Trion, Mike found himself among older, tougher boys. The environment was challenging and discipline was strict. Yet, despite the hardship, this was a turning point. Mike was forced to confront consequences he had long avoided. It was here that the foundation for change was laid, even if it wasn't obvious at first. The anger and defiance inside Mike were still boiling, but amidst the harshness, the seeds for something different were quietly planted. Life in a harsh facility. Trion wasn't an easy place. Mike quickly got into trouble, angry and confrontational. A fight led to his transfer to Elmwood, a lockdown cottage for the most incorrigible kids. Elmwood was known for its tough staff and harsh treatment. Banged-up faces were common, and kids returned from weekend passes battered and broken. Mike initially thought the staff were responsible, but he soon discovered that these bruises came from fights with other inmates. Behind those locked doors, the struggle for survival was brutal, with kids fighting constantly to assert dominance. The staff were tough, often compared to rednecks, and inmates were frequently seen walking in handcuffs escorted by 2 guards, reinforcing the harsh reality of life there. Despite the rough environment, Mike's experience at Elmwood opened his eyes to a different kind of toughness, one that was less about fear of the guards and more about the fight to maintain respect among peers. Meeting his first real mentor. While locked down, Mike learned about Bobby Stewart, an ex-professional boxer and national amateur champ teaching boxing there. One night, Stewart challenged Mike to straighten up and show respect if he wanted to become a fighter. This moment sparked something in Mike. After their first sessions, Bobby took Mike seriously and began training with him regularly. Mike started shadowboxing late into the night, driven by a new purpose. The introduction to legendary trainer Cus D'Amato. Bobby introduced Mike to Cus D'Amato, a legendary boxing trainer renowned for his tough love and unique philosophy. Cus' gym was a no-frills space above a police station in Catskill, New York. Mike was struck not just by Cus' imposing presence, but by his confidence and certainty about Mike's future. He boldly predicted Mike would become the youngest heavyweight champion ever. This bold claim puzzled Mike, but it planted a seed of belief deep inside him. Training with Cus was unlike anything Mike had known before. Cus didn't only focus on physical training, he taught Mike that boxing was as much about the mind and spirit as about strength and skill. Cus talked to Mike about the importance of mental discipline, control of fear and emotions, and visualization techniques. He believed that mastering these elements was essential to becoming a great fighter. Cus' approach was deeply psychological. He encouraged Mike to see himself not just as a fighter, but as a warrior with a clear purpose. Mike was drawn to Cus' intensity and the way he made him feel valued and understood. Cus' unwavering belief in Mike's potential helped the young boxer start to dream bigger and gave him a glimpse of a future far beyond the hardships he had experienced. Mike began spending every weekend at Cus' gym, training hard and absorbing the lessons that went far beyond the ring. Cus' mentorship marked a turning point in Mike's life, opening a new path filled with hope, discipline, and determination. Training and transformation under Cus. Under Cus' guidance, Mike learned that boxing was as much about mind and spirit as physical strength. Cus spoke to him about fear, emotions, and discipline, lessons that transcended the ring. He stressed controlling fear and emotions, viewing opponents realistically, and mastering visualization and mental focus. Mike absorbed these teachings deeply, embracing affirmations and mental rehearsal, convinced he could become the best fighter in the world. Cus didn't just train Mike in boxing techniques. He reshaped Mike's identity. Drawing from his own troubled past, Cus connected with Mike, making him feel understood and valued. He encouraged Mike to see himself as a warrior, to live like a champion even before the title was won. This profound mentorship gave Mike strength to rise above his broken past and imagine a new future, turning anger and hardship into fuel for greatness. Their training sessions were intense, but also filled with deep conversations about psychology and the spiritual side of fighting. Cus introduced Mike to concepts like emotional detachment in the ring, helping him learn to separate feelings from action to perform under pressure. He taught Mike how to use fear as a powerful tool, not a paralyzing enemy, and to channel adrenaline effectively. Cus' unique approach went beyond fists. It was about mastering mind and spirit to become unstoppable. Mike's transformation was not overnight, but with Cus' relentless belief and tough love, he started thinking and living like a heavyweight champion, fully committed to the journey ahead, embracing a new life and purpose. Cus didn't just train Mike in boxing techniques. He reshaped Mike's identity. Drawing from his own troubled past, Cus connected with Mike, making him feel understood and valued. He encouraged Mike to see himself as a warrior, to live like a champion even before the title was won. This profound mentorship gave Mike strength to rise above his broken past and imagine a new future. Cus' philosophy was about more than fists and footwork. It was about spirit and mindset. He taught Mike to embrace discipline, to control fear, and to visualize success as if it were already his. Mike learned to live the life of a heavyweight champion, thinking like a Roman gladiator, constantly preparing for battle in his mind, while outwardly calm and collected. This transformation was crucial because Mike's past had been chaotic and full of pain. Cus made him see that greatness begins in the mind, and that confidence must be built from within. Mike wanted to prove that he could change, inspired by Cus' unwavering belief in him. They spent hours talking about emotions, spirituality, and the psychology of fighting. Mike was no longer just a lost kid from Brooklyn. He was becoming a disciplined fighter with a mission. Cus' words and guidance gave Mike a sense of purpose he had never known before. He wasn't just learning to box. He was learning to live a new life, one defined by hope, strength, and relentless self-improvement. The challenge of returning home and making a choice. Mike was getting close to being paroled back to Brooklyn. When Bobby Stewart came to see him one day, "I don't want you to go back to Brooklyn. I'm afraid you may do something stupid and get killed or get your ass locked up again. Do you want to move in with Cus?" Mike didn't want to move in with Cus, but he didn't want to go back either. He was looking for change in his life. Plus, he liked the way those people talked and made him feel good, made him feel like he was part of society. So, Mike talked to his mother about staying up there with Cus' Ma. "I want to go up there and train. I want to be a fighter. I could be the best fighter in the world." Cus had Mike's mind so messed up, that's all he talked to him about. How great Mike could become, how to improve himself day by day, in every way, all that self-help stuff. Mike's mom felt bad about him leaving, but she signed the permission papers. Maybe she thought she'd failed as a mother. So, Mike moved in with Cus, Camille, and the other fighters in the house. Mike got to know more and more about Cus because they'd have these long talks after Mike trained. Cus was so happy when Mike told him his hard luck stories about his life. He would light up like a Christmas tree. "Tell me more," he'd say. Mike was the perfect guy for his mission. Broken home, unloved, destitute. Mike was hard, strong, and sneaky, but he was still a blank chalkboard. Cus wanted Mike to embrace his shortcomings. He didn't make Mike feel ashamed or inferior because of his upbringing. He loved the fact that Mike had great enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, Cus taught Mike, was the word Cus could relate to because he'd had a hard life too. Mike's choice was more than just about boxing. It was about finding a place where he felt valued, a chance to rewrite his story away from the streets he knew, and it meant embracing a tough mentor who demanded everything from him. Cus' philosophy and legacy. Cus' impact went far beyond the boxing ring. A philosophy born from a life marked by hardship and relentless determination. He had faced profound loss early on, including the death of his mother and the loss of vision in one eye, yet he turned those struggles into strengths. Cus was fearless and stood up for the underdog, dedicating his life to fighting not just opponents in the ring, but social injustice and corruption in his neighborhood. Totally colorblind in a divided world, Cus befriended people across all races, defying norms and breaking barriers wherever he went. His training style wasn't just about physical skill, but about mastering the mind and spirit. He taught fighters to conquer fear, control emotions, and develop unshakable confidence through visualization and affirmations. Cus believed that to be a champion, one had to live like one, embodying that identity every day. He understood that every fighter needed a psychological edge, so he instilled discipline and mental toughness, molding his pupils into warriors within and without. Cus' legacy is a testament to the power of belief and mentorship, showing that greatness arises not simply from talent, but from forging strength through pain, purpose, and unyielding will. His influence shaped champions beyond their sport, leaving an indelible mark on those lucky enough to train with him, like Mike, whose life Cus transformed from broken to unstoppable. Mike's journey, from a troubled youth locked away in Trion to a young fighter transformed by Cus D'Amato's mentorship, is a powerful reminder of the strength of belief and discipline. Cus didn't just teach boxing, he reshaped Mike's entire mindset, teaching him to control fear and harness the mind's power. The lessons about visualization, emotional detachment, and the spiritual warrior within became as crucial as the physical training. Mike learned to live like a champion before he even earned the title, embodying Cus' philosophy that victory starts in the mind. This transformation shows how mentorship, especially from someone who understands your struggles, can rewrite a life. Cus' own hard past, his fearless fight against injustice, and his unwavering faith in the underdog gave Mike a new path, away from danger and toward greatness. It's a testament to the idea that the fiercest battles are mental battles, and conquering them is the real victory. Beyond the ring, Mike's story challenges us to consider the power of coaching and belief in changing lives. It urges us not to overlook the hidden struggles beneath the surface of fame and success. And it leaves us wondering how many more undiscovered stories like Mike's are out there, waiting to inspire us with lessons about strength, resilience, and hope.